morning, it's Pamela from Yorkshire in the north of England, here to talk about crochet. I've got 2 finished items for you today. So I've finished my scarf, which is the one that I did using the Rowan alpaca yarn. So this is it as it is there. I'm going to put a picture up of me stood wearing it. So I absolutely love the colour combinations. It might not be for everybody, but I love colour, so I love to mix colours together. So the first one that I did, I'll just show you the ball band. So it's Rowan Alpaca Soft, and it contains 70% virgin wool and 30% alpaca. I have looked up online and it does say that it's that they take it seriously for the welfare of the animals, and I can't find any adverse you know, news reporting on what they do. So for the moment I'm happy that I've got this. Anyway, it's this is what the ball band looks like. It's not the easiest to read because it's you know, like sort of a metallic on black. It's the 50-gram balls. We'll see if I can read the meterage. The meterage is 125 metres or 137 yards. They do suggest a 4mm up, but I used a 4.5mm. I usually do with the scarf. I usually go up an hook or, you know, hook or 2 size. So the first one I used is this colour, which is, I had the list of it, hang on. So the first colour is colour 207 and it's mulberry. And that is absolutely a beautiful colour. That is one of my favourite colours. Then we had colour 233, which is verdigris. Then I went on to colour 234, which is Sun Valley. Then to colour 219, Candy. Now that's the one that I didn't buy at Black Sheep Wools. I was making an order from Wool Warehouse and I noticed they were selling off some shades, and that was one of them. So this one I don't think is available anymore. And then the last one is colour 230, Dark Burgundy. Now I do love this colour, but when I was working on it at night it almost looked brown. But when you look at it in daylight you can see that it's got you know, that burgundy shade, but it's a very dark burgundy. The fringing, I used 1 strand of each colour in, you know, and just put a little fringe on. I just put them between treble crochets, which is double crochets in the US, on each end. This is the end you finish on. You can actually flatten it off and make it straight, but I didn't bother because I thought you won't be able to tell, and I don't think you can, because you have like some shell shapes at the top. I did contemplate putting the tassels in, not tassels, sorry, fringes in the V's, sorry, the chain spacers of the shell shape, but I thought I'll just have spacers at the end then, so I just went between the treble crochets on both ends. I think this might be probably the most expensive scarf I'll ever own because it's I think it's now £8 something a ball. Can't just remember how much it is now. I think I paid £7.99 a ball, I think, for the full priced ones. That didn't matter though, because this was going to be my special project for my 60th birthday. Didn't quite get it done for that, but I mean, I think this will last a long time, and it's so soft, it's lovely. I have problem with some wool against my skin, but this, I know it's going to be fine, is that. I've only got little scraps left of the balls. I had to leave enough so that I'd have some for the fringing, but I could have probably got a couple of extra rows of each colour, but I'm not bothered. It's long enough for me, as you'll see in the photograph when I put that on. Now I think, oh yes, and I used the Blossom Crochet lace shell scarf pattern. I've used it many a time on scarves. Yeah, it's really easy. It's just a 1 row repeat. I'll link it for you below. She's really good for scarf patterns, this Blossom Crochet, Rebecca the caller, and you get lovely straight edges with it. So next thing, I finished the cardigan. So I'm so happy. And you know, I know why it's took so long, because obviously we have the sizing issues to start with. Again, I'll put pictures up so you can see it on. Sizing issues to start with, and then obviously I then decided I didn't want to do the arms like they're done in the pattern. The pattern, you do the arms into, you know, one piece, and then you seam them up and sew them in. And I'm not the biggest fan of seaming, and I thought there must be an easier way to do it, and that's what's taken the time at the end, because it was deciding how best to do the arms. And like I said before, I started them 3 times and took it back out again. So I knew I wanted to crochet them on. That wasn't the art part, getting the gaps to crochet them on. It was about how to start reducing the sizing, because I think on the, oh, I don't know what you do on the pattern, to be honest, I've forgotten. But it was deciding how to do them. Anyway, once I'd got that fixed in my mind, what was the best way to do, which you've got to do by trial and error. Once I'd done that, I was perfectly happy with it. You know, it would just getting to that stage. In the end, I did 4 rounds of crochet granny clusters in each space, going round the arm to join it on. So 4 rounds just going round and round and round. Can't remember how many clusters. I think, was it 20? I think it was 20 clusters. And then I started reducing then every other round between rows 5 and 19. So on the odd rounds between 5 and 19, I did 2 clusters together. So basically you do 1 treble crochet, then over 2 spaces you do a treble crochet together, and then another treble crochet. So you've got like 4 stitches, but which would have been 6 stitches on two clusters, and then do that for 1 round, and then consolidate on the next round by working either side of those 2 that you've brought together, and that way you reduce 1 cluster every other row. That worked out. Obviously kept trying it on to see what it looked like on, and that's how we've gone with it. And then from row 19 on, it was then just deciding how long to make it. So I just did another, how many rows was it I did after that? So from 16 rows I did. So I did 16 rows, and then I did another row without trains in between, and then did 1 row of double crochets, which is single crochets in the US, just to like cinch it in a little bit at the cuff. So missing that chain space and doing the double crochet around just gave it that little shaping at the wrist. And like I say, that was so much trial and error, just to save myself the trouble of seaming and sewing the arm in. It'd have probably been better just doing it as per pattern. But you know, you get this in your head, don't you? And you have to go with it. Anyway, really, I have really enjoyed the pattern. It's just, like I say, it's just the seaming that I didn't enjoy, and getting the sizing right to start with. But I've loved working with the yarn. It's a lovely yarn. So the pattern was this one. So it was made for this yarn. So it's a Serdar jewel spun for pattern. It does have a name, and I keep forgetting what it is, but it's the pattern 10727, and it's that one. But it does have a name as the actual cardigan, but I just can't remember what it is now. So it's using the jewel spun. Now, this is the other surprise. It's supposed to use 4 balls. and mine has just used 3. I'm going to put a picture in that will show you how much I'd left. I had that much left when I did the double crochets round the wrist to sew in, and that was it. So it used exactly 3 balls. It's this stuff, so I don't know what I'm going to do with this one that I've got left, because it's not really suited for a scarf. I think it would be itchy if you had it as a scarf. Well, for me it would. But it's really lovely quality stuff. I really like it. And the colour was something garnet, I think, if I can remember. Yeah, glowing garnet, and it's a lovely shade, is that. It's shade number 0848 glowing garnet. The 200 gram balls, I don't think there's a lot else I can tell you. You get 500 metres in each ball, it says approximately, at 546 yards, and it's 100% acrylic. I think that's it. But yeah, really nice stuff. They've got some lovely shades in there. What I'm going to do with that one, I don't know. But yeah, absolutely love it. So you'll be able to see on the pictures what it looks like on. And so I really feel like I've achieved something there, because that is my first ever proper wearable, you know, apart from scarves and shawls and things. And I want to do them all. So like I say, I was mentioning in my video for the new year, I've got enough upstairs to do 3 cardigans. Just deciding which to do with which pattern, really. I want to do that shawl thing that I was on about with some good yarn. I've been looking for what I want, but I haven't found it yet. But that's it really for that. I hope you have enjoyed this little journey with me, even though it's been a bit of a trauma at times. Oh, by the way, for that one I did use a 5mm hook, which is what was recommended for the yarn. I'm going to add something now to my videos, only when there's something to say. But for my birthday, some of the things that Nick bought me were these 2 books. I've got a Suffragette diary, which has obviously got some main dates in the you know, what happened in the suffragette movement, and this book which is the Suffragettes in Pictures, but it has actually got some, you know, stories in as well. So what I thought was, I'm gonna, obviously I'll call it the Crochet Suffragette or something like that. I just thought if it coincides with the day that I do a video, I thought I will mention what's in the diary. So for today, Tuesday 7th, it's the date that General, in inverted commas, Flora Drummond, the British suffragette, I've heard of her, but I couldn't tell you anything about her, and she dies in 1949. So I looked in my other book. I have got other books on suffragettes, obviously, but in this book within Pictures, this is General Flora Drummond, that lady there. So I thought I would read a little bit out about her, and if you know, if you don't find this interesting, please skip on, it's fine. You don't have to listen to things that you don't want to listen to. But I mean, you know that I'm not very good at reading out, but I can actually read this all right. So General Flora Drummond, and she was born, well, they think in 1879, but it's not definite, but she did die in 1949, and she was an organiser and senior figure within the WSPU, which is the Women's Social and Political Union, in June 1908. Flora Drummond was born in Manchester but grew up in the Islands, up in Scotland, where she met her husband Joseph Drummond. After their marriage, they returned to Manchester, where she joined the suffragette campaign shortly after the first militant act, the ejection of Christabel Pankhurst and Annie Kennett from the Free Trade Hall in 1905. Early in 1906, she moved to London as a paid organiser, so she was actually paid by the WSPU. And was always closely involved with the WSPU's campaign in Scotland. She was imprisoned at least 4 times, once serving 3 weeks for chaining herself to the railings of number 10 Downing Street. The initials NWSPU on her peak cap refer to the split with the Pankhurst by Charlotte Despard. Or Despard, I don't know how you say that. I should know that, but I don't. Edith L. Martin and Teresa Billington Grieg, and that's on another page, but I'm not going to read that, in 1907. This trio used the name Women's Social and Political Union until they announced their new Women's Freedom League. Not wishing to be confused or associated with the breakaway group, the Pankhurst added national to the name of their organisation. The general, so called by other suffragettes, was an horsewoman and is seen here with her riding crop. Within a year of this occasion, Flora had given birth to a son, Keir Hardie Drummond, so she obviously named, it says here, named after Keir Hardie, the founder and the first Member of Parliament of the Independent Labour Party. So that's a little bit on Flora Drummond. There's not much on it. She is mentioned in other areas of the book, but I just thought I'd read you that little bit about her life. You know, just interesting to learn something about these names that I know. I mean, some of the names I won't know, but you know, it's just nice to, you know, like you know, fill in some of the gaps, as it were. So like I say, if you don't want that bit, you just skip through it, it's fine. It's something that interests me, and it's making use of these lovely gifts that Nick's bought me. I'm not going to use the diary as a diary because I bought myself, I didn't know who were buying me this. So I bought myself a 2025 diary. This is replacing my progress book. Because I got very slack at filling that in. I did really well through more than half of the year and then let it go. So this one I've put a little list of the things that I mentioned to you that I want to, you know, be doing this year, and then I can have a look at end of year and see what I've actually done. And then instead of trying to keep the full records of, you know, what yarn I used, what hook size I used, you know, full names of it or whatever, on the day that I finish something, I haven't put the cardigan in for yesterday yet, but or the scarf, actually I have to do that, but see, I'm failing already. I'm just putting what I finished. So like, you know, on Thursday 2nd I finished the quokka, and it's just briefly where I got it from and what I did it for. So, and then like the year of Gary Square Cow, you know, like what it was called. So it's just saying what I've done it for. So it just reminds me what I've done in the year, but not to the same extent of record keeping really. But yeah, it's just a nice little thing to look back on, I suppose, if I ever want to. So that's that one. And I got I ordered some stickers when I was sending gifts off to friends, and I got myself one, and it was Watch Me Bloom. I just thought it was an appropriate thing to put in the diary, you know, and with my thoughts for crafting this year, I just thought it was a nice sort of phrase for me to, you know, like extend my what's the word really, my abilities, you know, in crafting. So yeah, that's that. I don't think I've anything else to tell. Oh, now I don't know whether I'll be doing videos. You'll probably tell me not to be so daft, but you may have noticed all this time I have really dodgy teeth at the front, and it was made worse when I had the car accident 2 years ago, and it knocked a tooth out at this side, which has always been mortifying to me that it did that. It made it go loose and they had to take it out. But this one also suffered a similar fate, and it's been getting more and more wonky as time's gone on. They're keeping an eye on it. Anyway, before Christmas I had a fair bit of pain from it, and it gets inflamed, and that's to do with this autoimmune disease as well, that, you know, my soft membranes become inflamed. So the gum's not strong either. So I'm going tomorrow and they might be removing it. If they do remove it, I'm not having it removed until they give me a clear plan of what they're going to do to replace it. Because I was always told once this tooth goes, they would do something about replacing the teeth that are lost. So I want to know what they plan to do, and if they can't come up with that, then I'm going to go to another dentist for a second opinion. So I may be without it, I may not. I don't know if I want to come on camera if I've had this tooth removed. I know they can't do an implant, I already know that, because the bone is not strong enough for it. So I already know that that's not a possibility, because a lot of people said to me, why don't you just have an implant? I can't, I know that. So there's got to be another way, whether it's a bridge or whether it's some sort of plate, I don't know. But I can't. I don't know whether I'd dare come on camera with. I mean, they look bad enough as it is, so I suppose you could say that, you know, like I do it with them as they are. But anyway, we don't know. We'll see what happens tomorrow. And I mean, one good thing is if it comes out, the pain will go away. And I have suffered with it, you know, since it became wobbly, you know. So we'll see what happens. But I'll let you know. I mean, if I do film and I don't want to film my face, I can set it up where I can show you what I'm doing, you know. So sorry, I'm prattling on me. It's really because I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know how they're going to sort this out. But anyway, we'll see tomorrow. I can't believe I'm talking about having a tooth removed. I have fulfilled my ambition, because when it became wonky, and it has been loosening all this time, I said I want it to last beyond my 60th birthday, and I got it through my 60th birthday. So I have actually, you know, I have actually achieved that. Anyway, that's enough of me prattling on. I hope you have a good day. I hope you haven't had too much weather problems. Our snow did last for 2 days. However, it's now melting, but we have had frozen snow, so it's very icy out there. And I don't like that. I don't like going out in it when it's like that. But it's supposed to be sunnier, I think, as the week goes on, so hopefully it'll all get melted off. I hope so anyway. And then yeah, so I hope you haven't had too much problems with it yourselves. I hope you're enjoying whatever you're doing craft wise. Just take care of yourself as usual, really, and I'll see you there.